Day off work, it could only mean one thing. Awful weather, chucking it down with rain. Been raining all night, all morning. I set up in the dark, cut a new swim out. I've been round to 3 rivers, 4 drains, and they're all a nightmare. All that snow melted off and it's running everywhere. So this one is chocolate brown. There's debris coming down, but it's fishable. Whether it's going to be productive or not, I don't know. It's taken me a good hour and a half to get salt. It's taken me a good hour and a half to get sorted. But well, it's can only mean one thing in it. You've got a day off work, it's going to be a nightmare. But we're going to turn a nightmare into a result. Really going to be positive. There's no point going if you're not expecting to catch and do well. We're going to really endeavour to put some fish on the bank today. So I've got 3 rods out. I'm going to get us something hot to drink and then I'll run through the swim with you.
There's the middle rod, smack bang in the middle of the swim. 3 rod lengths out and 3.5 foot of water. That's a static dead. I can't use my paternoster rigs on this drain, it's too shallow. So it's a static dead on the bottom. That's a whole sardine. As you can see, the water is dark brown. There's a lot of stuff coming down, so it's there's a left hand rod. I'll show you where it is. That's the left hand rod, positioned down the left hand margin. That's a static dead bait again. That's a small roach, about 1.5 inches long at the most. That's what went, but it was weed on the line. I had a funny feeling it was. And there's the right hand rod. That's down the right hand margin. That's another whole roach, but that's a lot bigger. That's about 3 or 4 ounce roach. And that's down the right hand side. So 3 static deads, 2 roach, 1 sardine. No joy so far. That's the swim. Every now and then it stops raining, gives me a glimmer of hope, but it's been a very wet, grey, drab, miserable day so far. Come on, you Pike.
Well, it's my 2-hour report. Not much has happened, has it, troops? Golden Bennett. What a day to be out. Someone was walking their dog on the far bank. He said to me, "You must be mad." Why do we go? Well, the simple truth is, I can't help myself. I have to go. I've just done 7 nights on the bounce. Finished work at 6 AM. And I'm back to work tomorrow, 6 AM. So that leaves me 24 hours to go fishing. 18 hours of them in darkness. Gives me an 8-hour window to do the one thing I love, you know. And even before I went, I knew there'd be snow melt. I knew all the venues would be bombing through. I knew it'd be raining. I knew it'd be miserable. I knew it'd be horrible. I knew it'd be hard work, and the probability is probably won't catch. All them negative ones. And they all just fall by the wayside when it comes to the one positive, and that is to go fishing. I love it. I can't help myself. I don't go fishing to make videos. I just happen to make videos because I go fishing. I can't help, you know, pike fishing is what I do, you know. And when I was a little bit younger, I'd go 3 or 4 times a week. Before work, after work, days off. and I'll be chasing, monsters, you know, chasing 20s, chasing high 20s and 30s. And I only fish rivers and drains. And it's getting harder and harder every year. I was going through one of my diaries from 15 years ago, and that autumn stroke winter, I had 26 20s from rivers and drains in Lincolnshire and Cambridgeshire. 26 20s in the winter. Now, I'll be lucky if I get 2. And that's the upshot of it. You know, that's how, you know, it has changed. It's fishing for different fish now. The big fishing, big numbers are gone. They're gone. Their days are gone, and they're never coming back. So you go out and you fish for what you're fishing for. And I want a 20. I love them. And this venue will give me a 20 if I get it right. If I'm in the right place at the right time on the right day. It'll also give you a ball ache. Excuse my French, because it's a tough venue as well. And so we're out. I ain't got no choice. Got to go out. Got to go fishing. And it's that one little droplet, that grain of hope that keeps you sitting there. I mean, I could quite easily go home, put my feet up, you know, one day off, but I could have one run and hit my only 20 of the season. You know what I mean? So it's, I've got to go. You know, it's, I don't have a choice. You know, so now we're out on the bank. What do? Well, we sit and wait and hope. Day like this, it's, you know, it's not great for filming, photography. It's, you know, I'm hunkered down there under me brolly. It's and it ain't let up. You know, it's going to be a tough day, but I've got 3 baits in the water. They're avoiding the debris at the moment. Every now and then I think I've got to run and I get all excited and I jump up, but it's debris. But one of those might not be. And if it isn't, and I'm in, then happy days. So I think we're going to catch. You know, I've had a few doubles out this drain this season so far, up the narrow stretch. I'm out on the main drain, the shallow end, and it's hard work at the moment, but I reckon we're going to have one. Oh! Debris. Get all excited, it's only debris, but look at that. Got to be in it to win it. Let's go and catch some fish. It's really running off now, troops. It's risen about a foot in the last hour. It's bombing through. All sorts of debris coming down. Obviously the floodgates in Boston have been opened up. They're running it off hard. So I've brought all the rods into the margin where I can avoid the debris, and hopefully we'll have a pike in the slack water. But at the moment we've struggled. But the conditions were always going to be against you on a day like this. Sometimes you just got to grin and bear it and tough it out. Yes, I say, it's running off hard. All the baits are in the water, have been boosted. They're still oozing oil when I recast them. Let's see if we can nab something. Oh, well, troops, I'm defeated. I am. I'm beaten. It's I've been fishing 5 hours and it's getting worse. Bait can't stay in the water more than 5 minutes without a one toner. I mean, a real It's just impossible. So there's nowhere to place the baits in. You know, it's just the debris coming everywhere. This morning it was all on the far bank, which wasn't a problem, obviously. I was just fishing mid-channel in, but now it's just hacking through all the time, and we're I'm up and down, up and down, up and down, and nothing's happening. It really isn't. It's just been a tough day. Sometimes, you know, you get one day off. You got, you know, it's catch-22. You know, you go or you don't. You sit at home or waste a day away. There we go again. That's a right hand rod. You can see the weed hitting it. It's not a bite. It's not a fish. As I say, there's no problem holding bottom or anything like that. It's just this sheer amount of debris coming down. It's just impossible to fish. You know, and I haven't had say 6 hours, I ain't had a run. And you know, when you're sitting there you know you're not going to get one either, probably. I mean, that's not strictly true. I mean, there's always a possibility, isn't there? You know what I mean? But you know, it's been a tough one today. I've taken a bit of a battering. I'm gonna go home and sit in a nice warm house with my slippers on. Alright troops, welcome back to the channel. Another day, another drain. And oh, it's difficult, isn't it, at the moment? I mean, everywhere I want to fish is flooded. Everywhere. As you can see. I'm on my way to work. It's a drain on my way to work. It's no more than a ditch normally. It's normally only about 2 foot deep. Very narrow. And I thought, it's fishable. Now, I haven't piked it. I've fished it about 5 or 6 summers ago and had plenty of roach and rudd on a margin pole with corn. Loads of fish I had, loads of small stuff. Whenever I drive down, there's always cormorants or herons around. Don't know what it does in here. Back in the day, it used to produce sand and pike to a decent size, but that was back in, I'm going back 15-20 years. It's I don't know if the otters have decimated it, don't know if the humans have decimated it. It's one of those places where it's a gamble. It's I say normally it's no more than a ditch, but it's, I actually fished narrower and shallower drains up in Lincolnshire and catch 20s out of them, so you never can tell. At the moment it looks good. I've got a decent swim. I've got a weed bed down to my right hand side, so I'm just off that mid channel. The middle rod is 3/4 of the way across, and my left hand rod is right down the left hand margin in front of another reed bed. My outside rod's static roach. The middle rod's a static sprat. I didn't know that. See, normally when I fished it in the summer with corn and maggots or whatever, but if I go back about 5 or 6 years, it was only about 3 foot deep in summer. You know, normally it's all run off in the winter, so I was expecting it to be really narrow. So I haven't got my paternoster rig set up. So I'm fishing with static deads at the moment. Got my stop knots set about 5 foot. It's not bottom, that's over depth, because it's bombing through. You know, it is bombing through at the moment. It's running off hard, like everywhere is. Everywhere's flooded. So the object of the day is I've got 3 hours before I have to start work, or 3 hours before I have to pack up and go to work. And it's a case of, do I sit in the house with my feet up, annoying the missus, or do I try and catch something from one of the very few fishable places at the moment, because everywhere is chocolate brown, high as a kite, bombing through. So went over to Whiffham on my way to work. That's unfishable. So, you know, and as were a few drains that I normally fish, unfishable, 40 foot, unfishable. The Glen's up, everywhere's up. So I might not have a chance to fish on my day off during the week. It might be just a waste of time. So it's a gamble. Is there anything in here? I don't know. Will I catch anything? I don't know. Am I expecting anything? No. But at the same time, I've got no expectations either. You can only fish for what's in front of you. Now, if this place has got a few jacks in it and the biggest fish in here goes £10, you know, if I have a couple of 6-7 pounders, I've had a good day, haven't I? So that's the way I look at it. I'm out, I've got my rods out, I'm fishing. You never can tell, can you? So let's crack on and catch some fish. Well, we've been fishing an hour. Not a touch. A bit of debris come down, gave me a false indication. I got a bit excited, but other than that, it's very quiet. The wind's really picked up. Grey skies are moving in fast. There's going to be rain all over the place in a minute. You know, so I've moved all my stuff so I can have the wind at me side. Put a brolly side on to protect me. Nice ripple on the water now. But as I say, nothing at the moment. Just boosted the baits and repositioned them after 40 minutes. What I've done is I've gone far bank, near bank, mid channel. Same positions, but I've covered the whole drain. Anything moving through hopefully should pick up one of my baits. The middle rod's getting a lot of false indications. I got it near, so you can see behind me there's a Pike, an outlet. I've got it near there, and there's debris coming out of it, so it's hitting the line every now and then, so you do get a few beeps. But as it stands at the moment, the gamble hasn't paid off yet. As I say, I'm always confident. The cup is always half full. So, you know, I really am hoping. Right. Right, as far as the channel goes, I really do appreciate all the views and all the comments and the likes. If you haven't subscribed, because quite a lot of viewers haven't, just hit that subscription down there. Don't cost you nothing, you won't get annoyed. It's not notifications, just subscribe, and that way the new videos will come up on your channel. If I take a while to answer your comments, it's not because I'm stuck up my own backside, it's because I'm where I work. You're not allowed mobile devices where I work, so I do quite long hours, because, you know, sometimes 10 days on the bounce. So, you know, it does take me a while to answer a lot of comments sometimes. So it's not ignorance, it's just the rules of work. You can't have a mobile device at work, so I don't know anyone's commented until I get home. Yeah, I mean, or if I'm on earlies, I'm in bed. So it's mid-December, everywhere's flooded. This is a gamble, an opportunity to try and catch some fish, get out on the bank, which we have done, but as it stands at the moment, it hasn't paid off. So these baits have been in their position for half hour, so I'm going to give them a move around now. Well, it's the last hour, and we're not we're not setting the world alight, are we? So it's another reshuffle. There's a bit of stuff coming down, not much. Get out near that outlet. This is a rod I'm surprised about, this one here. Look, down in front of that big reed bed there, you'd have thought there was something there. But no, look, the weeds tangling stuff up now. There's normally a reliable tangle-free rig. Raining. What I'm going to do, just going to flip that right in there, in that slack water. See if there's anything down there. There's that small roach right down in the margins, tucked right in the slack water, right at my feet there. Getting desperate now, trying all sorts, but we're into the last hour. Two hours of fishing, 3 rods, no interest at all. As I say, I didn't even know if there was anything in here, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. Alright, where I had that float, right in that margin spot there in the slack water, something broke surface and rolled. I say rolled, I don't know. I saw it going back down. All I saw was a black shape. Now, was it a fish? Or was it a mink? Was it an otter? I don't know. Something came up right there. I heard it break surface. I spun round, and it was going back down. All I saw was a black shape. Too quick to even say if it was a fish or a mammal. And I've got to pack up in 5 minutes. Can't be late for work. Oh dear. Right, then the last cast of the session. Left the left hand rod in place. It's quite far way down and it's in open water. Let's leave it there. The middle rod I've stuck bang mid channel, right in the centre of the swim, and the right hand rod I've flicked back out in front of that weed bed. It's bombing through. Are there any fish in here, or am I just in the wrong spot? You never can tell, but you know, it's always worth a gamble. I mean, this coming up, it's going to be really hard to find anywhere to fish in the next couple of weeks. It's absolutely diabolical, and the rain's moving in again, so there's another low pressure bringing more rain. The rivers ain't going to be fishable, most of the drains are not going to be fishable. Took the gamble, so far so bad. Don't you just love packing up in the rain when you're blanked?